Hello everyone, it is Ashley here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I am sharing my next layout for the A Cherry on Top design team. And I am using the Simple Stories True Colors collection. I absolutely adore this collection. There are so many bright colors, as you can see, and just some really fun elements. So you'll get to see some of those here soon. I am just using this fun striped paper. I wanted to cut this at a diagonal, but unfortunately it doesn't fit very well in my trimmer that way, so I had to just use my T-square ruler and carefully draw a line, and then I used my scissors and that worked just fine. So my idea is to do some tone on tone punches, some hearts here, and I wanted to add those onto the stripes. So I'm just cutting these apart so I can punch a bunch of hearts. I'm going to punch some really tiny hearts from this Fisker's punch, and then some bigger hearts too from another Fisker's punch. This one right here. And unfortunately I had to cut into another sheet of this pattern paper because I just didn't have enough of that super light cream color because it's so long. I didn't have enough of the other half that I didn't use, so I did have to cut into my second sheet, but that's okay. I still have some left over, so use it up, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna adhere this down to my white cardstock, and I roughed up the edge there too. And now I'm just going into these cut aparts to use as a mat for my photos. And I love that they're just the perfect size. So I'm just deciding which colors. Originally I was kind of leaning towards keeping it my whole entire layout to this kind of pinky colors, but I obviously changed my mind at some point. So I always or almost always mat my photos in white first, especially if I'm using a colored mat, and I just use my scissors to trim off the excess because it usually always get a cleaner cut. And I'm just gonna kind of adhere them on like not straight, like kind of tilted a little bit on to those background pieces. All right, so next I am going to adhere those down, the photos down, so that I can start placing my hearts onto the appropriate colors. And I wanted to get the photos down so that I wasn't taking time to adhere hearts underneath where those photos would be. So that saves some time and some materials. And I'm going to adhere most of the hearts with foam adhesive, except for those teeny tiny little hearts. I could not get the foam adhesive to work on those. They're just so tiny, and you can see I'm gonna struggle here for a few seconds, and they just would not stick, and I was really getting frustrated. So I just decided those teeny tiny hearts I'm going to adhere flat to the layout, and the other hearts I popped up. So there is all done. It probably took me I want to say a little over an hour, maybe even closer to 2. Not too bad. I already have my embellishments picked out that I want to add to the layout. Sometimes that's the hardest part for me, is finding the embellishments that I want to use. But I didn't really have this idea of tucking embellishments into this edge originally. I actually didn't really have an idea at all, but after looking at the embellishments, there were just so many cute things that I wanted to use, so I decided because this is a back to school layout. I guess I didn't even say that. Those are my two girls from a few years ago, and these are their back to school pictures with their little signs and all their information. I decided that I wanted to use some embellishments that kind of pertain to school, like the crayons, those watercolors, notebook, just some fun things to add onto the layout. So I'm adhering all those things down, tucked under that edge. Okay, and then I have these cute little title pieces. I think they mostly come from the ephemera die cut pack. I can't remember about the titles. That might be a separate one, but they're all the True Colors collection, from the True Colors collection. And I'm just trying to fill in as much of that space, but I wasn't too concerned if it didn't go all the way to the edge. I'm just going to start adhering down those title pieces because I have those hearts popped up. I needed to add some foam adhesive on part of the words. So I just kind of add some foam adhesive down where I know I need it, place it back down to see if I need to add more to make sure that it's not sagging, and yeah, that's just kind of how I did it, and it worked pretty well. Okay. And I'm really glad that I went with just adding all the colors. Like I said, I was gonna just do just the pinky colors that are in this paper, but I just wanted to use everything. I have documented these photos before, but so like I do each of my girls, they have their back to school photo in their own scrapbook, so they each have their own, but I also wanted to add these photos into the family albums too, because they're just precious, and I just want to make sure they're documented. So just adding these little diamond pieces, and that's going to be it for this layout. I hope you have enjoyed this process. Be sure to check out this collection on the Cherry Shop. They have lots there to look at, lots of items from this collection. You will not be disappointed, I promise. It is a beautiful collection. Thank you again for stopping by, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.